7 things to know before you start your Cyber Essentials assessment. Today we're on part 2. We're going to talk about whether you need professional IT assistance or not. Well, it depends. If your environment is small, typically under 5 staff with no servers, it's likely you'll be able to just about meet the required technical controls. However, if you're a larger organisation or have servers or operate in a complex environment, you will definitely require either internal or external IT assistance. In this segment, I'm going to focus on several common questions that applicants struggle with. Okay, just before we do that, just a reminder. As a Cyber Essentials assessor, we are looking for evidence, which your answers need to provide, that you understand the question, and also that the controls you have implemented, whether the paper policy or technical, meet the required standard. In the early part of the assessment, you will need to provide a detailed breakdown of your technical environment. More on this in segment 3. In the middle and latter sections, you will need to demonstrate technical competency. Cyber Essentials is based around 68 questions, with 26 of them being administrative or policy based, and the remainder being primarily technical. Okay, let's look at several questions. Let's start with your router or hardware firewalls. You're asked to provide a list of network equipment. This includes any routers that you manage, as well as routers you don't manage. You'll also need to list the brand, model and firmware revision, and ideally its date. If the device is no longer supported, your assessment will be marked as non-compliant. You'll also be asked to confirm that you have firewalls at your boundaries. This is where it can get highly technical if you have multiple offices or work in a shared office. This is a critical requirement for Cyber Essentials and must be super clear in your answer. Do you offer any sensitive applications via the internet? This is tricky and essentially means that you need to know of any services or applications that you've configured to be accessible from the internet. And this needs to be documented, and for each service you need to have a business justification. It's common for applicants to answer no here and elsewhere state that they have a VPN or offer remote desktop services. This is a contradictory answer. Make sure you are clear on the requirements for this question. Okay, another one. Are your internet routers or hardware firewalls configured to allow access over the internet? Normally this is a no, but it does depend on the type of router you have. If you do allow this, it must be secured. Okay, moving on to laptops and desktops. Again, firewalls must be enabled. This is the default setting, but I am aware of some applicants who have turned off the firewalls and answer no in the assessment. Where possible, have you removed or disabled all software that you no longer use? This can be tricky, and you will need to provide a brief explanation of the steps you've taken to meet this control. Another one, are all operating systems and firmware, this includes routers and mobile devices, supported? This again goes back to your scope, and you will need to list all operating systems in use throughout your organisation. It's quite common to see applicants list mobile devices or server operating systems that are no longer supported. The next two are my favourites. Are all high risk or critical security updates deployed within 14 days? The larger the organisation, the more robust a process the assessor will be looking for. And a similar question, but subtly different in that it focuses on applications, for example Firefox, Chrome, Java, etc. Most applicants we deal with do not have a robust third-party update policy, and this is likely the single greatest risk most organisations face from a hacking perspective. Okay, let's move on to the topic of administrator accounts. Cyber Essentials focuses on administrator level accounts, and in particular, you must not run as a local admin in your day-to-day account. If you do, it's relatively straightforward to create a new admin account, then downgrade your normal account. But be careful you don't lock yourself out. So hopefully you found this useful. Remember, there are a total of 42 questions that require technical input. My advice is that you look at the CyberEssentials question set and identify what questions you will struggle to answer. In most instances, they are the more technical ones. Thanks for joining us today. Cybersecurities UK over and out. Thank you.